Hello, 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 and welcome to the show. My name is Kyran Mountain, and I'm joined every week now with Flying Barracuda. My friend, how are you?
Doing great, mate. Doing great.
It's
only 12:30 tonight, and I am ready to go.
Oh, let's get you in bed then. Let's get this episode on the fence. We're gonna skip over the actual watching of the show. We're gonna make that a separate upload. Eventually, we might even make that a Patreon thing. So if you're interested in that, let us know in the comments down below if you want to be able to get a completely raw, unedited watch through of the video that we're watching. And then we're going to start right into the review of the episode where we talk about what happened, what we thought, what we're thinking about, and what we're moving forward. What else did we do on the episode?
In this podcast?
Yeah.
Well, we did we're doing a little quiz, right? We're testing, see how much I know about Canada.
Right, we did. How did I forget that part?
I was, maybe we could pretend that you didn't forget.
Okay, I didn't forget. And then some news, video game news. We kind of just toss the ball around. We don't really get in the weeds of it. We just kind of give you some thoughts and something to think about for the rest of the week.
And we are all Chattermax now.
Chattermax!
We have got a lot of credits to go.
Oh my god. That was only a 42-minute episode. Before credits. Wow.
Nicely disguised as a 50-minute episode.
Definitely disguised. So what do we think? What do we think?
3 minutes of recap on the front of it.
Oh yeah, that's how you pad an episode.
What do we think?
So I think Thrawn looks amazing in live action. He's almost scarier now. I'm with you though. I understand how you can only see Elon Musk. It made me think of Jesse Eisenberg. That's who played Zuckerberg in that Facebook movie, right?
Yeah.
So later on when Superman v Batman came out, all I saw was Lex Luthor was Mark Zuckerberg. That's all I could see. And it was just basically Eisenberg playing Lex Luthor as yeah. So I get it. I get it, man.
Yeah. I don't know. It was an interesting episode, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Did we get anywhere?
No. Well, I think that's...
We learned a lot about Thrawn. Like, he just wants to get out of here. He doesn't care about Balin. He doesn't care about Ezra. Like, he's cool to let Ezra just live here and leave.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it kind of felt like we sort of hit pause on the story and just sort of lined everything up for the finale.
Well, I guess if you think about it, because they were just ticking off boxes because we didn't know, besides, getting Thrawn and getting him out, we didn't know anything else, right?
That's right. Yeah. So
we've ticked a lot of those boxes off now.
That's right. I mean, we got some cool moments for sure. Got to see Sabine, bit of lightsaber work. We like that. Night Sisters, love that. That was cool.
I really liked. It took me the whole episode to figure it out, but I liked how they had it was the three sisters. It's kind of like the ladies that, what's it in Greek mythology? The Destiny chicks. There's always three of them, right? With the scissors. Mm-hmm. And I liked how it also played off of, like the toil, boil and trouble, the Macbeth stuff. And that all three voices, like she was, like one would speak, but it was all three voices happening. It was a mix of all three. Which just, I don't know, as an audio guy, I thought that was pretty slick.
Yeah, it was really cool, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like they didn't just do some like reverse reverb like everyone does for an ethereal voice. They actually like probably got all three sisters in there to voice a few lines and then layer them.
Well, that's right. And then the challenge becomes getting the cadence right, getting the tempo right.
But that was the best part, is that not all of them were exactly the same. You could hear some of them finish before the other one, or one of the background sisters would end a word later than the other one. It was there, but it wasn't. It was so cool.
Yeah, no, it was cool. Yeah, look, Night Sisters really, really intriguing. I want to know how they got there as well. Like
they've always been there, it feels like.
Which is interesting. So, what intergalactic travel was?
I think that's what they're hinting at, that the Dathomirians have already come from here to the Star Wars galaxy. Like they originated from there and they migrated, or what's the word? When those European settlers came over. Colonized. Yeah, they immigrated. Right. They immigrated. Yeah, that's a better word. Immigrated.
Yeah. No, look, yeah, it's interesting. Like, that's sort of what the whole episode was about. It was like getting Sabine and Ezra in one place. We spent a lot more time with Balin and his apprentice, sort of teasing out their characters a little bit.
We got to know their relationship a bit more too. It felt like.
Yeah, and I mean, we did at the start of the episode. That's right. At the start of the episode, we sort of, well, I think I pretty much said that I think he's going to die at some point in this series. This episode really started to hint that maybe not. Maybe we're going to see these two join forces with Sabine and Ezra, and maybe Ahsoka as well, in some form. I'm not sure.
So you're saying somehow their goals will align?
Well, I think they've got pretty similar goals as is right now.
I'm with you. I think so.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was. I don't know. Look, it wasn't like the previous two episodes, which were pretty box office. Really, they were, a lot of stuff was happening. This kind of felt like a lot of setup, and it kind of felt like a lot of questions were answered in a really short amount of time in order to get us in position, ready to go for whatever's to come next.
So, you know, like when you were back in elementary school and they kind of like describe the arc of a story where you've got like the rising action and the plateau, and then, you know, the denouement or whatever. Like, I don't remember all these words, but you're right. It feels like they've kind of come up. They've had a climax, not the final one, but now they've kind of leveled off to try and, okay, now we need to establish a couple things before we start ramping up the excitement and the story to wrap up again. You're totally right.
Yeah.
What did we get for Ahsoka? How much screen time did she get? Barely any. Like her and...
It was right at the start. We didn't cut back to her whatsoever.
No. The only other mention we got of her was Thrawn at the end saying, well, let's assume she's not dead since you screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
So...
That's right. Like, yeah. I don't want to say, like... that it wasn't, like, good or anything. Like, there was good moments.
It was a great
episode,
like that. Yeah.
It just doesn't... It didn't really take us
The biggest
anywhere.
excitement we had was the fight with Sabine and the Raiders, the guys in red, which we don't know much about. That looks like Balin's going to try and befriend.
Well, yeah, he might try.
That fight scene, though, I definitely just felt like a Mandalorian scene, right? Was it because of the Beskar or because she's Mandalorian? Like, I was expecting her to whip out the flamethrower, because I used to have a joke about the Mandalorian that they only had budget for one flamethrower an episode. And so I was expecting her to bring out the flamethrower, man.
It's a little bit like that. I think as well. I think that's probably something that they intended to do too. They're probably going, well, trying to show the her duality between
or is it
training
just
as a Jedi
Filoni?
and. No, I think they're trying to say she's a Mandalorian, but she's training as a Jedi, and well, being Mandalorian comes more natural to her, so her first instinct was to get the gun out.
You could see that she almost changed forms, and she's not connecting the two. Like, they're two different ways of fighting to her, and she's not what am I trying to say? Collaborating between the two, I guess.
Yeah, they're not connecting. They're not meshing. They're not.
No.
It's not something where she can chop and change between the two. It's her Mandalorian teachings end, and then her Jedi teachings start, and there's no crossover there just yet. Which that's her character. I did like the sort of bait and switch with the she was trying to open the doors using the Force, and she felt like she was kind of getting somewhere, and no, in actual fact, it was the Star Destroyer coming down and making everything shake. Which in itself, I don't know. I'm not sure where we're going with Sabine, because like So much has been said about she's got so little midichlorians, and her connection to the Force is minimal.
But it was enough for the Darth sisters to be like, "That's a Jedi. I smell Jedi."
Yeah.
So she was enough Jedi for them to, sniff her out.
That's right. Like, she might be,
or maybe it was just that she
herself
just
to be a Jedi.
Maybe she just smells of Jedi because she's been, trained upon by Ahsoka. Maybe she doesn't. That's all it is.
Yeah, it could be. It could be because, for them as well, their visions of the future and whatever, it could just be, we're seeing how many. It could range anywhere from being, we can see 3 different lightsabers, therefore it's 3 different Jedi, or it's, like a feeling or an idea that this person is a Jedi and they've got,
3 arms.
Well, that's right. Where's the 3rd arm coming from? But yeah, look, I don't know. I'm not sure. Because look, I'll be honest. I haven't really followed Rebels that much. Would love to watch it. Haven't watched it. So I'm not really you don't know these characters inside and out. So it's hard to say, they should be doing this or that or whatever, because I don't know. So in the end, my point is, I just kind of feel a bit meh. I don't know Ezra.
I guess that's
at all.
Hey? Yeah.
And that's it. And I think a lot of people that are just watching this show for the first time, who haven't watched Rebels, are probably going to feel the similar sort of way. They go, well,
"Oh yay, we finally made it to the guy! Yay, that's the right. guy!"
Yeah, and he's living with the hermit crabs. And he's like, "Oh no, we better run away."
Yay, space Jesus.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where they go from here. I feel like this is an episode that can make a lot more sense once we see the whole season as a whole, and go,
yes.
This is what this meant. This is what this meant, kind of thing. So I don't know. What were your thoughts?
Yes, that's. I get the same feeling. I feel like, as someone who's seen Rebels, it's like, okay, there's Ezra. Yeah, his blue eyes look weird, but they're staying true to the character. He now looks like Jesus all of a sudden. I'm interested to see, are they planning on meeting up with Ahsoka and then just jumping back on the whales and heading back home? They're gonna get ditched here. It's gotta happen. They're not gonna be jumping on the space ring and coming back with everyone. And better question yet, does that Star Destroyer dock in the space ring? It's
I'm
gotta,
not sure.
it's got to pull a Voltron, right?
The space ring didn't have any sort of adapter for that, but at the same time, it wouldn't. That doesn't really make sense. So yeah, maybe that is what they're trying to do, or either that, or they're trying to use the technology in the space ring and then convert that into a special hyperdrive engine to go into the Super Star Destroyer or something.
But that space ring, it would circle the Star Destroyer, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's got to be big enough to tow a Star Destroyer.
It is pretty big.
Think about I guess this is my thought. If you look back at the Jedi space rings that they had for the Jedi fighters, I still think the ring to ship ratio, the Star Destroyer would still be much smaller than the Jedi ship would be. So why not?
Yeah,
I think that's gonna look cool. I'm looking forward to that. I want to see that.
Yeah, if it happens, I'd be keen.
No, it's happening. I guarantee it. Now.
Okay,
I'm calling it right here. Star Destroyer hooks up to the space ring and they head back home. Some point. Yeah.
Because the interesting thing as well with a series like this is it cannot infringe upon the movies that are already completed.
Do you think that's why they're trying to do it over in another galaxy, so it doesn't matter?
Perhaps. But at the same time, I kind of question: are they even going to get back to our galaxy?
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. The whole story's going to now take place in this other far away galaxy.
Yeah, which I'm not sure how I feel about. It's it makes sense, kind of. At the same time, it kind of feels like.
Well, you were saying this during the episode that it's very risky and that they might isolate, if not alienate, their existing fan base because of these changes.
Well, that's right. And the only reason I feel like that is because the first line of the very first movie is written on the screen, once upon a time in a galaxy far, far, far away. And everything that has happened up to this point across so many different projects has happened all in one galaxy. And now we move into a different one.
As nerds, we're going to need a name for that galaxy.
Exactly, but you know, it had a name, right? It was a galaxy far, far away.
Exactly. But now what is it? Is it the other galaxy far, far away? Right? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We're gonna need to be able to identify, like, know what we're talking about soon, which is just gonna make it muddier and messier.
That's right. Yeah, and I can appreciate why they're doing it, because it's like, well, yes, it's an easy workaround.
Does it feel like it feels like a Filoni thing too? Hey,
yes. In a word, yes. It's going to require a whole lot more.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. It's going to require a whole lot more fleshing out, though.
But do you know what I hate to say? I hate to say it, though. If anyone could do it, it's Filoni. He's proven it.
True. But I would also put this question to you: is what makes that planet, right? The planet we went to. What makes that different to any other planet we visit in our current galaxy?
Oh, wasn't it even called Dathomir? Like, don't we have another planet called Dathomir in the original galaxy?
I don't think it was called Dathomir.
I thought it. Well, I thought it was.
Okay.
So, like, they're Dathomirians stuff.
But that's right. Like, my point is, like, I kind of feel like if we're going to a different galaxy, then really go into a different galaxy. Like, really go for it. You know.
I see what you're saying.
Have all kinds of weirdness going on. Make it so different that it's like, okay, we're here again, right?
Don't you think that we still need to have some level of familiarity in this new place? Like, that's why they made, you know, Ezra's little symbol, the turtle people symbol, right? The rebel symbol.
Yeah.
That's why the writer did that, so that we have a little bit of familiarity, so we can connect to Ezra, blah, 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 blah. We already did get, like, the dog thing, these grasshopper hermit crab people. They're different, no?
No, they are, but at the same time, like I don't know, the parameters that have already been set in where we currently are, those hermit crab things weren't nearly the weirdest alien we've already seen, and like they're
exact Binks.
That's right, and they're almost exact replicas of that sort of little village scene in Clone Wars episodes.
You know what?
Right?
I wouldn't argue with you on that one. From Phantom Menace, you're saying, like, right from the beginning where the tanks are crushing all the forest. Like, it could have been there. You never, right?
That's right.
And then just swap those guys out for the Gungans.
Exactly. Like, we go to so many different planets and stuff, and that's kind of what makes Star Wars Star Wars. In you know, of course, it's not the only thing, but there's a big pull.
And I'm going to say the word complaining. I'm not using it in a negative way, because I mean, you're a Star Wars fan. You have the right to like what you like and criticize. So are you complaining about this because you feel like these things could have still just happened in the original galaxy? Like, why did we need to go to a whole new galaxy to do these people? That could have just been a new planet. Could have been the outskirts. Could have been the... Right?
Well, yeah, I just feel like it's...
The Outer Rim, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, it just feels like it's a point that should be raised, because going to a new galaxy is, like, you can say it's a small thing.
It's not, though. It's kind of got to be a big thing.
It's a massive thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's important that it should be distinguished from the galaxy that we already know. That's all. And like, look, and I don't know, it's hard to say, right? Because what I was trying to say before is, so much of Star Wars is, right, we go to a different planet, we go to Hoth, right? We go to Mustafar,
yes.
We go to...
Yes.
These planets are also different from each other.
Yes.
This planet we went to...
Well, I think I've said it in past episodes. When I was a kid and I watched the first one, and then I'm watching, what is it, the second one, Empire Strikes Back? Or is it Return? No, Return's the third one. And they're on Hoth all of a sudden. I'm like, what the hell is this? Are these connected? right? Like, I mean, eventually it made sense, but
that's right.
9-year-old me was like, I don't understand why everything's white now. Like, it was a desert planet last time with 2 suns.
Yeah, 100%. So like,
so I'm going to ask the question again. Are you? I guess it feels like you're still upset that it just. Why did we didn't do anything special enough to commemorate the new galaxy? Is what you're saying? Nothing has been bizarre enough to justify going to a new galaxy.
Yeah, I think the best way to describe it is I think that because this is such a big moment, right? There should be something that clearly tells you that we're in a different galaxy. Because otherwise, why couldn't this story be told in the unknown regions of the galaxy?
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
That big old patch.
Well,
on the map,
I'll argue with you this.
Unknown.
I'll argue with this to your point. Actually, is if we look at Rebels, which you haven't watched, there's this rich backstory now for someone like me who's seen it of Lothal, the planet. Where when you saw the Loth cat, and I'm explaining to you what the Loth wolf is and all this, they were able to do all these things on just this little planet somewhere else in the galaxy. So why, you're right, why, we haven't gotten the why we needed to go to this, besides the fact that Ezra, that Filoni wrote it into Rebels, and now we need to, unwrite it? Is that what we're doing? Are we just unwriting the ending of Rebels?
Yeah, that's the thing. Did they, at the end of Rebels, I haven't seen it, but did they explicitly say, oh, they went to a different galaxy, or is it just a scene where they disappear into hyperspace?
They just disappear into hyperspace.
Right. So like,
and they assumed because they knew the Purgle could do like super long distance, but I mean, it still could have been in the same galaxy. Could have been in like a really far of the Outer Rim, right?
That's right.
They were assumed to be lost in the Outer Rim, technically.
That's right. And so. I guess, and that's it's not a complaint or anything. I'm just saying, like,
it can be a complaint.
But that's
complain. It's a podcast.
It's one episode. It's one episode of one thing. So
look, if anything, that's what you're hoping they'll rectify in the next episode. I was going to say
that's issue. Right. I think they've got plenty of opportunity to go over it. Obviously, there's a reason for it, right? Because they're going out of their way to do it.
And a narrative reason, yes.
That's right. So they could have quite easily just said, okay, it's just some planet we've never been to, right? Same way Palpatine returned.
Exactly. They could have somehow Thrawn returned. Done. They've done it before.
Yeah. But instead we're going to a different galaxy. There has to be a reason for that. I think it's probably got something to do with the fact we've got 500,000 TV shows coming out and a movie that culminates all of those converging stories together.
Yep.
Maybe we need a staging ground for that rather than because that would tread on the toes, whatever that story is.
So first episode, we got to know Barracuda a little bit more. Second episode, we got to know myself a little bit more. I'm thinking this episode, I want to test you, Barracuda. How much do you know about Canada?
Oh yeah, I know plenty. Don't worry.
I got 10 questions here that are, I think, as a Canadian, I came up with them. I think they're pretty easy.
Oh god.
They're not hard, and I will give you hints if you need to. Okay.
Yep.
Just 10 questions.
Do you know what I will say? All right.
Okay.
Growing up, one of my friends' mother was Canadian.
Okay.
And I thought she was American.
Oh no.
And no, that's right. She got quite upset.
Yes.
That people would call her American. And that's kind of the extent of my knowledge, right? I know maple syrup. I know the flag.
Oh damn! I have to get rid of that question then.
Oh, maple syrup.
Because you already know the flag. You already know it. So that's one of the questions. So.
Well, just ask. No, ask it to me.
I will when we get there. It's number 5.
Oh, I need to get something right.
Well, I'm hoping you get them all right. To be honest.
Really?
Yeah, they're kind of easy.
Okay.
All right, so first up,
I'd be happy with 3 out of 10, to be honest.
First one is actually kind of a hard one. I'm looking for 2 people's names. Okay? 2 Canadians. Yeah. And your clue is she married her skater boy. This is probably the hardest question on the list.
Well, Avril Lavigne, is she Canadian?
She is. She married another Canadian.
Skater boy.
Another Canadian.
Oh.
I'll give you another hint. They're infamous. An infamous Canadian band. Rock
Ryan
band.
Reynolds.
No, rock band. Ryan Reynolds isn't a musician.
He's Canadian.
Yes, but he's not a musician. These are both.
Well, I get half a point.
No. You don't.
Rock band out of Canada. What, Vancouver, Canada?
No, Alberta, in fact. No, nearby me. Where are they from? I forget the town's name. Small town.
Avril Lavigne married a Canadian from Alberta.
Yeah. If I were if I were to give you a dollar and something costs 95 cents, what would I get back?
Nothing. I'd keep the change.
No, what would be 5 cents back be?
Nickelback.
Aye, Chad Kroeger, lead singer of Nickelback, married Avril Lavigne. They've since divorced, and she's dating some rapper now, I guess.
Oh,
that was your first question. So you get half points because you got Avril, I think.
Yes,
that counts.
I got Skater Boy.
So speaking of getting something back, we last few years ago, I'm old now, so we recently got rid of the penny a while back. What is now our smallest form of currency, and what is on it?
A while back. I reckon we got rid of the penny in this. Actually, I might be quiet about that. Maybe the 80s.
You guys haven't had a penny since the 80s.
At least.
Wow.
At least the 80s.
We're slow then, man. The States still have pennies.
I think it's because our economy is quite inflated. Anyway,
that makes sense. On. That makes sense. It would be. That's why we're behind you guys, because our dollar's about usually around the same place yours is.
Well, that's right. They're phasing out the 5-cent coin as well.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's our 5-cent coin named, and what's on it? Do you know?
Nickel.
Yep.
I'll take the points.
No, but no. What's on it though? What's on one? Just name one. Actually, I should have put these in a different order. What's on one side of it? The animal that's on it.
Oh, beaver.
Correct.
Oh.
Name one person that's on our Canadian currency. There's a lot of people, but I'm looking for a specific.
King.
Say the
King
Queen.
Charlie.
Say the Queen, because we haven't swapped it over yet.
Oh.
So it's still all Queen
still living
Elizabeth.
In denial.
Yeah. She's still alive.
Right. Well, okay.
Who is known as the Great One? Number 4.
The Great One. What, John Cena?
No, I don't think he's seen as Canadian though.
Oh no, he's not Canadian. The Great One.
Need another clue?
Yeah, please.
He wore the number 99.
Oh, is this hockey, is it?
Correct.
99. The Great One. I thought
he played for the Edmonton Oilers, won a cup there. I think he went over to LA, didn't win a cup. And then who else did he play for? I don't know who else he played for.
One of the only hockey players I know. Mm-hmm. In fact, I think it's the only hockey player I know.
Okay. Mario Lemieux.
No, is Wayne Gretzky.
Correct! Yay! What national plant is on our flag?
Oh, well, the maple leaf.
Correct. Maple tree. You win. Okay. Do you know Canada's 2 national languages?
Yes.
What are they?
French.
And?
Pidgin American.
Correct.
Beautiful.
Okay, this one's an actor. So this is a Canadian actor known for playing both DC and Marvel characters. He also has his own gin.
Yes. Well, Ryan Reynolds.
Correct.
Oh, I'm on a roll here.
When is a good time to switch to your winter tires?
Oh. You have winter tires?
Oh, well,
we studs in them and stuff.
They're a bit softer, and they've got a bit more groove, like better grip. So when the softness spreads out, it gets more tread. Yeah. We also have chains. People do chains sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no one has really studded tires unless they're doing something funny.
Okay. Oh, I see. What? Guess when it snows?
Well, any answer was going to take it. When Dad says it's time to, would work too.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. So full points for that one. What's apparently this is Canada's national sport.
And it's not hockey?
That's what surprised me.
Okay. National sport.
Correct.
So it could be...
It's not hockey. It's kind of like hockey, though.
It could be Canadian football, which
it's
might
not
be.
It's not CFL, no.
It could
as
be...
much as Riders fans want it to be.
I know the Blue Bombers.
See, like you don't even know there's no league even. That's what doesn't make sense. Our national sport. I wouldn't be able to name the league. So it's like guys wearing
polo?
No. It's guys wearing like shoulder pads, hockey helmet, but they're on grass.
Lacrosse?
Yes.
That is a weird sport. I don't know why people play that game. We used to play it at school, but really it just turned into a fight with sticks.
And last question. What is Justin Trudeau's dad's name?
So it's something Trudeau.
Correct. But what's his first name?
Yeah. Derek Trudeau.
You know what? I don't even remember his name, so I'll take full points for that.
Yes.
He was also our prime minister, though. That's what... Okay, Google, what's Justin Trudeau's dad's name? It's going to be some French name. Perret. Yeah, I don't know. No. I'm good, thanks. So I think you got 9 out of 10. I think I'll give you.
Ruth, that is generous.
Yeah, I think that's what you got. So congratulations.
I think I'm going to be a fair bit.
You will now you can get your Canadian citizenship. You know enough. Congratulations.
Yeah. I've got answers such as Avril Lavigne, Ryan Reynolds, Maple, Gretzky.
I was going to do one where it was like, what is more Canadian? The maple tree, the maple leaf, the beaver, or something, and then just take any answer.
You'd make me sort of sweat on it a little bit.
Right, but any answer was going to be correct for you. That kind of quiz.
See, that's very, very nice, right? I can't give a wrong answer.
It's naughty and nice, though, because it makes you sweat a bit first.
I wouldn't want to be in your shoes for the quiz next week.
No, is it going to be bad? Are we doing Australia next week?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think so. And
I'm going to say drop bear for all the answers.
And you would be incorrect for 9 out of 10 of them.
I actually recently watched a video of a chick who thought she was holding a drop bear. They had her like in all this paintball gear, and then they had her a fucking koala who's like been chewing on some eucalyptus and didn't give a shit about hay, and she's getting so scared. It was hilarious.
That is peak Australian humor, by the way. Just sliding a tourist.
She clued in when she started freaking out. She's like, get it off. And the guys that are getting it off are not geared up. And they're just like handing it off to each other. And she's like, wait a second.
Yeah. That's, as I said, peak Australian humor. The news.
Yeah,
I'm going to start with some, I don't know, exciting news. I don't know. Look, the smash hit popular Australian TV.
Is it Australian?
Show. Yeah.
All right.
They play cricket and all kinds of stuff. Bluey is releasing a video game. It's announced with the trailer, and it's going to have all the remaining. Not all the remaining. All the original voice actors are going to be voicing it.
Some of them are dead, so the remaining ones.
Let's hope not. Some of them were children. It's going to be like an open sandbox game.
It's coming out. It's out. No, it's not out.
Correct. Also, I got a quote here, which I'm sure you'll enjoy.
Okay.
The game will feature voices from the English cast of the show, including David McCormick as Bandit.
David McCormick? Really?
Bandit is the dad, right?
Okay.
And Melanie Zanetti as Chili. I'm not sure who Chili is. I've never watched this show.
Zanetti, really? I can't believe they got her.
Who is that?
I'm making shit up, bud. I'm so full of shit. I'm just playing along.
Perfect.
You're saying a name and I'm like, Cormac? Really?
I thought he would be like, oh, he was on like Doctor Who, the episode 13. Did you know he was playing the Dalek?
I've never heard of this show before in my life. My kid's trying to tell me that the dogs are colored in a certain way so that real dogs can recognize them or something. So they can see them. Okay.
Yeah,
so they pop off the screen better. They're 3D dogs for dogs.
That's cool.
Dogs can see certain colors, so they are that certain colors.
That was Grayson. Thank you very much, Grayson.
That's a great point. So yeah, so that's good. It's good contrast of colors in the show. So
what we're gonna do now is we're gonna start playing some Bluey on stream and market it to a dog. So like, you know those YouTube channels that people put on for their dogs before they leave?
Yes.
That's who we're gonna target with our YouTube with our live streaming channel on Twitch. Just dogs.
I think when you see the price tag of this game, your eyes are going to water whenever that comes out.
How much is it?
I don't know, but they usually are enormously expensive.
They're probably going to be like the same price of a AAA game.
Also, when those Peppa Pig games came out, they were like $120 a game, and the last like 3 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
Right, just ridiculous. The announcement trailer suggests an undisclosed actor behind Bluey herself is likely to be present. Voices of Bingo, Cousin Muffin, Uncles Radley and Stripe, and Grandad, Chili's father, who also featured the trailer, yet to be confirmed. I don't know what any of that means, but I'm excited. People are going to have a great time.
I'm watching the trailer. Sure. It looks like a wholesome game. It looks like a good game for a family to play. And it looks like it might be multiplayer. I don't know.
Well, you'd hope so if it's going to be a family game.
And apparently, unfortunately, the incessant annoying toy Chattermax is also featured.
Oh.
So, unfortunately.
Yeah, I always hated that guy, Chattermax.
He's just always chattering.
I thought it was a toy, it's not a person. Hang on.
What if did you click the link?
Yeah, no.
Are you watching this owl thing dance?
Oh, I haven't seen the trailer, no.
Well, I clicked the links to it at Chattermax, and I got brought to a Chattermax music video 10 hours. It looks like some kind of owl toy. It's supposed to be like a Furby or something.
What the hell is this?
Yep.
Put that in the link inside the show notes.
I'm going to include a bit of the song here. Here we go. Copyright strike. Here comes.
Oh, I don't think so. This was posted by someone with 208 subscribers. I don't think they're putting a copyright claim.
It could happen, man.
Imagine making this a stream sound alert and it goes for 10 hours. Imagine that.
You'd kill yourself. You would just end stream.
$1. Just trying to yell over the top of these.
I'm trying to imagine it. Do we have any other news? There was Xbox news, wasn't there?
I think the rest of the podcast should include this music.
You know, if I wasn't afraid of getting copyright struck, I would. I totally would.
Anyway, sorry. I'm enjoying that way too much. Right. So, big news. Big gaming news. Actual gaming news. There were some leaks coming out of Xbox. And they contain a lot of things. So many different things about the future of Game Pass.
I heard things like there's a new handheld apparently on the docket. They want to do things like acquire Nintendo apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and there's also a new generation of Xbox scheduled for 2028 too, supposedly focusing on cloud hybrid gaming, which I was going to ask you a little bit about, because to me that sounds like the sort of technology we're talking about with Chromecast in our first episode of Gaming News.
Well, I mean, they already have Game Pass, which works really well. I have a really cool USB-C extending controller that like opens up and I just set my phone in it. And then I load up the Game Pass game and I'm just playing any of my Game Pass games, practically any of them, over the cloud. So as long as I got a decent internet connection, it feels like I'm playing a handheld console. I don't know why Microsoft, who makes things like the Surface, which are awesome little tablets and laptops, why haven't they gotten into the gaming ecosystem, right?
Yeah.
I think I heard 2 years ago they were talking about making another, you know how when they've done in the past where they made like all these different versions of Windows? Apparently a gaming based one for handhelds is in the works.
Yeah, right.
So once we get that, it's going to make all these handheld and third-party handheld PCs just that much better. By the time that comes out, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft puts out a computer themselves. Right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a question, is this thing going to be powerful enough to game on, or are they going to make it one of those streaming things where you don't do the gaming on it, but you stream to it?
Yeah, it certainly sounds like it's something you stream to, right? If it's going to be cloud hybrid gaming, because that's
hybrid,
that's what that means.
Cloud hybrid. So that means also on the device too, doesn't it?
Well, I suppose it's, I don't know. PlayStation sort of have a similar sort of thing where it's like if you download a new game, part of it's stored away, right? Too much storage space. They store some of it, and then you want to download the app again. It goes, oh no, don't worry. Here's another 30 gigs sitting there to, you know,
in the cloud.
Tide you over. Yeah. It was also augmenting console hardware with cloud to edge architecture. I don't know what that means.
Well, it sounds like what you're saying, where some of the assets would probably be in the cloud somehow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Also part of the leaks were, there were some figures.
Numbers.
That's right. Look, all right, so let's read the paragraph. It's easier that way. We also got to look into how much money goes in securing day one games for Game Pass. Thanks to the spreadsheet that lists expected partner ask for a number of games. Though many of these titles did not actually come to Game Pass, figures range from $300 million for Star Wars Jedi Survivor to just $5 million for Baldur's Gate 3. Our communication shows Microsoft vastly underestimated how popular Baldur's Gate would be. So these are just figures that they're estimating future games would be bringing in and then using those numbers.
I believe this is what they were saying Jedi Survivor will cost to actually bring to the platform, where Baldur's Gate they didn't ask for enough, I think is what this is saying, isn't it? Because I'll put it this way, I was Googling for articles from this and I found one that was saying this is what it costs to put a game on Game Pass. So it sounds like it costs the publisher a certain amount of money to get it on Game Pass. So it's funny that that Microsoft wanted $300 million for Star Wars Jedi Survivor, that's the sequel, but only $5 million for Baldur's Gate.
Oh yeah, so I think we're coming at from the same point of view, like as in, like the valuation of listing it is well, I think this is what Microsoft is asking their expected partners for. Yeah. So these are just numbers that Microsoft made up. It doesn't sound like it's a flat rate for anyone just to get their game on Game Pass. It sounds like Microsoft's like, how popular is your game going to be? We're going to ask for more money because it's going to be good. Which, I mean, could probably make... It doesn't... Well, it makes sense, though, because if it's on something like Game Pass, they're going to have to supply that bandwidth for that game, right? Both cloud and... So maybe part of it is an infrastructure, right? Or maybe they're just not making all their money off of the subscriptions. They're making some of the money off of the publishers publishing on the platform too. Yeah, actually, I think you're right. I think I was reading that wrong. It says, expected partner ask. So that's, I don't know. I feel like a game that's so large, I feel like sure, it's going to cost you to provide that service. Is it going to cost you $300 million?
That's what doesn't make, like, the deficit between those two numbers is huge.
Exactly. There's all kinds of staggering stuff like that. Another point that's very particularly intriguing is they're trying to, acquire Nintendo, and that would just be an enormous change in the gaming landscape entirely.
Well, we've had Nintendo from ever since the crash of video games. Nintendo's what brought video gaming back from the ashes, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it'd just be staggering.
I don't know, like as a Nintendo fanboy, I don't know how I would feel about Microsoft acquiring Nintendo. Like it wouldn't feel right.
Yeah. They'd make big changes.
I don't think it'll ever happen. I don't like, maybe that's just wishful thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
It scares me. That literally scares me.
It is kind of scary. Because when you think about Nintendo, right, it's its own thing. You think about PlayStation and Xbox going against each other, sure, right? They produce a pretty similar type of game, you know, console, controller, the lot. You know, it's pretty similar. Nintendo do their own thing. So, if Microsoft were to acquire Nintendo, for example, right, hypothetically, what does that mean to like Nintendo focus on, you know, like think about the Wii, thinking about the Switch? That's completely different, right? It's interactive. It's more of a party style thing. Like, what does that mean? Are they going to keep trying to run the two businesses, or are they going to try and like merge the two?
Exactly.
And what does that mean?
It would be weird. Almost as weird as if like Sony were to build like an add-on for one of Nintendo's consoles, right? Like a disc drive or something. It'd be weird if they were doing that.
That's right. And yeah. So,
sorry, I'm making a joke. The whole reason Sony got in the video game is because Nintendo was going to partner with them on a disc drive, and then Nintendo backed out at the last minute.
Right, yeah.
And so they're like, "Fuck it, we're still going to produce the PlayStation. We're just going to make it our own console." So,
yeah.
I mean, weirder things have happened, but you're right. It's going to be weird.
Why, if it did happen,
it can't. It can't. It can't. Last on our news story, we've got Unity finally apologizing for the confusion and angst caused by their new runtime fee. It's been updated. This article is from Kotaku, good old Kotaku. I'm not going to deep dive into the bits and parts of this. I'm going to just give you a quick overview of what's happened because I have a feeling it's going to change again. So don't lock any of this stuff in. Previously, Unity, if you don't know what Unity is, it's what a lot of video games are built on. It's a video game engine. And you got to license your video game engine, right? And if you're not part of some big place like Nintendo or Microsoft where you can't build your own video game engine from scratch, it takes a lot less time as an indie developer to build on Unity. So things like Among Us? Is it Among Us?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's built on there. A lot of third party. I'm assuming games like Vampire Survivors is probably on there. Maybe
there's three on the list here. It's Cuphead, Fall Guys, and Among Us.
There you go. Those three. So Among Us is free. Cuphead isn't. And what was the other one? Third one?
Fall Guys is free.
Fall Guys is free. What else was Cuphead isn't? And then what was the third one? Among Us. So that one's kind of free sometimes, right? Depending upon where you're playing it. So I guess underneath the old pricing system that they were suggesting they were going to change is that once someone got past a certain amount of downloads, they had to pay a fee per download. And that would completely kill a free-to-play game, right? Or even a game that didn't charge very much. It was going to kill all their other fees. So a lot of developers have just completely abandoned Unity and just switched engines completely. So I mean, it's other people's loss. These guys gain. They've now swapped back and said, no, we're going to do it. There's going to be caps. If you expect to have, so many downloads, blah, blah, blah. We're not trying to do. It's just a big fat mess. I think even one of the people from the group said, it's not on here. It's not in this article, but one of the people has basically said that they expected the backlash regardless of what changes they made, which is kind of a dick move to say. Because, I mean, he's not wrong, but did it need to be said?
Yeah, exactly.
So what are your thoughts? Like, game developers, we might see free games get delisted because of this, if you ask me. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
Yeah, that's right. And I think as well, they're starting to charge and hike the price because, correct me if I'm wrong, but there was a recent development, like a new Unity, what do they call it? Anyway,
game engine.
There was some game engine. That's right.
So an alternative would be Unreal Engine.
Yeah, but wasn't there some improvement in Unity a couple of months ago, and then suddenly there was a newer wave?
So people want to use it more because it's probably...
That's right.
And so now they want to jump
more accessible. And then they just hike the price on everyone, and everyone just goes, oh, hang on, what happened? Yeah.
Feels like Adobe,
Dodgy.
if you ask me. Because, I've been using Adobe Audition since I learned how to edit audio. And then they went to the subscription fee, and it's like, I can't afford this every month. This is ridiculous. Like I have like, just to remind myself, I've printed out a receipt here that was, I don't know how many months ago, how many years ago, but they want like $52 a month, and it's like, I can't edit that's a lot of money from the money I make per episode.
That's Premiere Pro, isn't it?
Well, I think the looking at the receipt here, it's for everything. It's for the entire Creative Cloud, but I was using all of them more than one at the time, which justified purchasing all of them, right?
Yeah.
So
it's a bit like what Google did with Google SketchUp. I remember back at school, every single computer
had it for free. You were saying?
Yep, everything was free. Like you could download it. You could even go to Chrome and just download it because it was just like, this is a beta, whatever.
And you used to goof off on it all the time at school, you said?
Yeah, you could build whatever you liked. You could build buildings, you could build towns, the lot, right? And you had creative control right down to the final thing, right? And then, architects started to get their hands on it, who it was designed for, and they were going, oh, we can do this and that. We can do a full-on 3D model, and go through and accurately measure, right? It's not just an architect's drawing. It was accurately measure everything out because that's kind of what the program was built for.
That's kind of the point, yeah.
Hand it straight over to a surveyor, skip the engineering phase, hand it straight to a surveyor and go, oh, this is what we want, measure it up for us, no worries. And then all of a sudden Google go, oh, hang on, this is a very useful program that we should be charging for, and now the price is like $120 something every 3 months or something like that. It's ridiculous. It was free for so long. Same sort of thing. As soon as it becomes good and everyone wants it, it's just like, oh, and there she goes. Up
Can't
goes
be
the
free
price.
anymore.
That's right. You've had your fun.
Pretty much.
Same thing. I mean, look, sorry, to go back to the article, I saw Bloomberg reporting.
Just before you jump in there, it's just money makes the world go round, I guess, is what the takeaway, I guess, hey?
Exactly, but I'm just saying under here, like...
Yeah, what's Bloomberg saying?
Yeah, Bloomberg is saying that though the company has not gone public with any concrete changes to its policy, it plans to overhaul it. Under a tentative new plan, Unity will limit fees to 4% of a game's revenue for customers making over $1 million. So, all of a sudden, now it's sort of like a deal where it's like, we'll charge you a base rate, and on top of that, we'll also take, the cream off the top of your future success for your game. So it's like, they're going, oh, okay, well, out of every... say 100 games that get developed using our engine, say 4 of them really take off and have a have a sizable output. That's where all the money's being made. So basically we're saying, oh, okay, let's try and be the good guy, but we're still going to keep the same. The money's still going to work out to be exactly the same because hey, you're going to have money too.
Well, and look, so this does two things. In fact, what it does is the quote unquote free to play games like your Fall Guys and stuff. Now they get a cut of that money because it's free to play. They weren't going to get a cut of that, but now if it's of the game's revenue, which would include in-game purchases, that's a cut they're getting. Another complaint I heard was games that are made for charity. Apparently are not exempt necessarily for this because Unity has decided things like Planned Parenthood are not a charity, so they don't get exempt from this, and the 4% that they might have made off of that and would have gone to charity now is going to go to Unity. Yuck.
That's just how they're doing it. It's not like they're backing down. Like, sure,
it doesn't sound like they're back. They're changing their story. They're not backing down.
Quote unquote, we're backing down. Basically, we're going to do it the same way, but different.
We're going to make it look different, but it's going to sound, exactly. It's going to be all legalese shit.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, all because they know that they've got the best or one of the best products, and they can because people will pay that.
Yeah, you continue reading. Unity Personal and Unity Plus plans reach the runtime fee threshold by earning $200,000 in a year and 200,000 lifetime installs. Unity Pro and Unity Enterprise accounts hit it at 1 million. So they even have a certain level of tier plans you got to pay before you got to pay more money. Like, ugh, it just sounds like an accounting issue too. It's just like, what game developer wants to get in the weeds about how much money? Like, what, they just want to go make another game after the game's out or support their game. They don't want to be sitting there worried about how much money it's making, so they have to, put that money aside for Unity.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, that's it. Like, yeah. I also am saying at the bottom here, like, I was saying, maybe 4 out of 100 get through. Their actual numbers are it's 1 in 100. 1 in 100 games gets over the threshold of like actually making more than $1 million.
Yeah. Nuts.
Like, yeah, and that's the thing. You're going after the people. You're going after the 99 with your price hike. That's basically what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah, they're going for the rest of the pie.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's about it for news, Barracuda. Where can people find you before we wrap up this episode, my friend?
Well, first of all, I desperately want this podcast to end with the Chattermax 10-hour music video, please.
We'll start that. We'll have it on the end. Sure, if that's what you need.
Yes. I've been listening to it this whole time.
Oh no!
I have. I am Chattermax.
That's going to be a new sounder on your Twitch. Where can people find that Twitch, by the way?
Yes, at twitch.tv/FlyingBarracuda. And they can find you on Twitch at
twitch.tv/GameSmarter, or just go to game-smarter.com. We'll bring you to the YouTube channel as well.
Big brain. Love it. All right. We out of here?
I think we're out of here, buddy. Anything last thoughts before the end of the show? Chatterbox. Sing along with it for me. Sing just a little bit for me here.
Okay. Woo, woo, woo.